Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and the shop this weekend was hopping. What am I doing with my hands?
Mountain Man, Mountain Man.
Treasures.
Welcome into the channel, guys. My name is Troy. I'm a reseller in Montana. That means I go to garage sales and estate sales. I go to thrift stores. I buy stuff and I sell it again online. Mostly, I'm doing that on eBay. And it is now officially the fourth quarter. And while the bulk of that fourth quarter frenzy doesn't really start until at least November, I'm starting to see an uptick. So let's check out what I sold about the last half of Friday or so into Saturday, Sunday, and then very, very early, we had a few Monday morning sales as well. Quite a pile of stuff heading out from this weekend. Some really cool things in here and some higher dollar things in here as well. But of course, you know, I like to sell the smalls as well. So a good mix, good one for you to tune into to see just what it is that we sell out of this store. This one, a vintage iron-on patch. This is cool, made by Voyager in the USA. I picked some patches up off of a Whatnot auction here not that long ago because they're easy to list. Some of them were quantity listings, that sort of thing, and I just thought they were pretty cool. And this is the first of those to sell. Took an offer on this one, the South Dakota patch, $8 plus shipping. We've got another Cutco knife. You can see that's labeled C because I listed them individually. They're all different patterns, of course. The swirls are all different, the tortoiseshell design on there. So we've got the brown and the orange swirls in there. Bought a set of steak knives for $100, 12 of them in there. And, you know, more than I want to spend, but I know that I'm going to make money off of them. After we sold a handful, it was all profit. I sent an offer, they countered, I countered back, and we settled in at $29 plus shipping. Happy about that. They'll sell right in that $30 range pretty steadily. Here we got a vintage My Little Pony. This is a made in Hong Kong pony. You can see there's some color discoloration on there. Color, well, can you have any other kind of discoloration? There's some scuffs. You know, it's not in great shape, but it's still going to sell. I have a few more of these, and they're going to sell despite any sort of issues with them. Sprinkles is selling for $4.99 plus shipping. Another small over here, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. This, of course, a X-Men plaque. This is a replica of the plaque that's on the front of the school there. And this one was $5.99 plus shipping. This, pretty cool. Look at that. It's a painted saw blade. It's vintage. You look, it's dated 1997. And I picked up, I think, 3 of these at a sale. They had a larger one. They wanted more for it. I can't remember what I paid for these, couple bucks a piece. I just thought they were really cool. They do sell. They sell slowly, but I thought it was neat. And this is the first of them to actually sell. Like I said, I have a couple others. They don't really take up any room, so I don't mind having them hang out. $20 plus shipping for the saw blade. Now let's try and move some stuff over here. I'm probably going to have to pause and move things off of my table here at some point. I got a Patagonia tee. This one I got also off of Whatnot from the Vintage Viking is where we picked this up. Got some t-shirts from him, and Patagonia does still sell pretty well. This is not a real high dollar shirt. It's just a very basic shirt, but it's got a cool fade on it, and so I was pretty sure it would go, and it sold for $14 plus shipping. That, I think, an offer that I sent out. This I just picked up. You can't tell what it is. It's already in the bag, but it's a Roadhouse t-shirt. Be nice until it's time to not be nice. I picked this up at a garage sale 2 weeks ago, right about there. And it sold on an offer that I sent out, $16 plus shipping. This one, counter offer. I sent out an offer. They countered. I countered back. It's a Pendleton flannel, and it sold just this morning, $29 plus shipping for that one. Over here, let's move these guys. There's another t-shirt hiding under here, and it went to a viewer. It went to Juanita, as I recall. Really cool Mighty Morphin Power Rangers shirt. And not a vintage shirt, but still a cool design. She said she really likes the videos, and her son is going to really like the shirt. So Juanita, thank you so much. This one, $7.98 plus shipping. And then we've got a cool Kiss t-shirt back here as well. The Freedom to Rock Tour, I believe that 2016. And it's one of the baseball tees where it's like a 3/4 length sleeve. Really cool shirt. Picked it up at the same place as as both of these two, actually. And for that, another offer that I believe I accepted, $19 plus shipping. We got some hats over here. Look at that. Mobile Milling. This I got off of another Whatnot auction, actually. This one came from Frizzy's Finds, I believe. I bought a hat box from them, and this was one of those that was in that box. And really cool hat. It's, see, it's got the foam all the way around, and the foam is intact. Super cool. And for that, we got $19.49 plus shipping. We got another hat over here. I'll bring it over. We'll do all the hats. This, a Helena Brewers hat. They were a minor league baseball team here, an affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers. And it's a defunct organization now. They moved to Colorado. And so when I find these and they're in good shape and they're nice hats, I like to list them. They always eventually sell. This one actually sold quite quickly on an offer that I accepted, $23 plus shipping. Another viewer sale. This one going out to Chris. Look at that. The Stanley Cup Playoffs 2018 Vegas Golden Knights NHL season is back. I'm very excited. My world champion Colorado Avalanche among the favorites to win the cup again this year. I would love that. A repeat. That'd be awesome. After waiting for a quarter of a century, it'd be cool to go back to back. The Las Vegas Knights hat selling to Chris, an offer that she sent $14 plus shipping. Another hat, Bass Pro Shops. Bass Pro Shops hats tend to sell pretty well for me. This one's still new. You can see it's got the tag still in there. And this, I believe, came from Uncle Mark, Aunt Lori's garage sale there in North Carolina with Kevin, the Commonwealth picker. And it sold for $12 plus shipping. We got one other hat that actually went out to a viewer. We'll get to that, but let me move this stuff, then we can get to the rest. All right, just like that, the old workbench has a hole, and so we're going to be able to look at the rest of it and move things over as we go. Here we got another one of our cowboy figures going out. This one coming from my dad, and one that he pulled out of his collection. He had too many and said, hey, why don't you give this a shot? And so they're really cool. I listed them sort of as folk style. You know, it looks kind of like a carving. I think it's neat, and it sold for $9.98 plus shipping. How about we do this guy, a Schleich figure, a Clydesdale. Everybody loves the Clydesdales. Thanks, Budweiser. This one I accepted an offer for, I think, early this morning, $6.50 plus shipping. I've got one other Clydesdale just like it, still listed. Let's do this back here, Voltron. Look at this. This is super, super cool. Made in Hong Kong. So you know it's old when it's made in Hong Kong. That's generally going to be a vintage item. And just a set of erasers, but they're still new on the card. Now, the card's damaged, of course, and that in the listing. But look, it's from 1984. It's got some water damage on there, unfortunately. So I did price it down a little bit and was willing to take offers. I mean, there's only so big a market for something like this, but it's still a neat piece. I think I've got a Transformers one left, and it sold for $16.50 plus shipping. This guy sold in a day. This is a pretty good Funko Pop. If you find it in the box, you're going to get really good money for it. This guy, unfortunately, not perfect. He's got some scuffing there. On the other side of his mouth is a little bit rough. But he looked interesting. I picked him up actually from Farmer Mark's garage sale. I went over there and picked up some toys from him, dug through his toy box, stuff that he knows that I like to pick up, and I've started listing some of that stuff. Those things are really easy to list on days you just don't really have a lot of time, or maybe you don't want to list, and you got to convince yourself, you know what, I'm going to list a few things. You can list figures like this really, really quickly, and sometimes you find some that are actually worth a decent amount. This guy is Hook Fang. He's from How to Train Your Dragon, and he sold loose and with some damage for $16.24 plus shipping. Not bad. Thanks, Mark. It's actually really, really intricate. I'm not going to take it out because it's still in the box with its own styrofoam and everything. But see, you got little people on, what is this? I guess the boardwalk or something. There's flags on the corners. There's a little ticket booth. There's all these little people going around, and all of these swing individually on the Ferris wheel. It's really, really neat. It's a musical Ferris wheel. It's apparently was sold at specifically Dillard's, but it's a Mr. Christmas piece. I got this from an estate sale. I can't remember. I think I paid $10 for it. I didn't pay all that much for it. I was very excited to bring it home, get it listed. It's only been listed for about 3 weeks or so, right about there. And I actually sent out an offer to a watcher yesterday, and a little bit later in the day, somebody came in and bought it full price. $97.49 plus shipping. So almost $100, which incidentally was the original purchase price on this thing. So it has held its value. I love finding stuff like that. That's a really, really cool thing, and that's a really solid flip. How about some VHS tapes? You guys know I like selling the new and sealed VHS. Look at that. It's got the seal down there. Now, individually, neither one of these is going to sell all that well. The Man from Snowy River and the sequel, Return to Snowy River, they're not going to sell well by themselves, even new and sealed, but put them together, and now you're talking. Now you might have a little something. And they've been listed for a while, maybe a few months. I'm not exactly sure, but still, I've got a VHS shelf, no big deal. And they sold for $8.99 plus shipping. So pretty solid. I think I got them for $0.25 a piece. How about Gremlins? Look at that. This thing is super cool. Gizmo is a Mogwai. Mogwai. And then look over here. We've got Stripe, of course. He is a gremlin. Fantastic Christmas movie, by the way. You know, thinking of non-traditional Christmas movies. Die Hard, of course. Die Hard 2. Edward Scissorhands. Gremlins, guys. Gremlins. Yes, it's a Christmas movie. And it's a solid sale. The Gremlins thermos, of course, without the lunchbox, still in decent shape, sold for $38.67 plus shipping. All right, down here, we've got some blank tapes. Again, something that's not going to sell by itself, right? But if you can put it in a decent pile, like I did here, and I got all these from an estate sale, and she just gave them to me because I was getting other stuff. And you'll see that time and again. When you get some cassette tapes, people go, I just take them. Even if they're not new and sealed like this, if they're just generic, you know, whatever the band or artist is, sometimes I'll tell you just to take them. But these are really good, and they're good, one, because they're sealed, two, because they're Sony, and high fidelity. You want stuff that's hi-fi. You don't want the generic, the really bottom levels. This is a little bit better. And you can actually find cassette tapes that are worth a lot of money, depending on the quality. But even these, just with, I think there's 9 of them there, sold for $19.49. So pretty good. And incidentally, you cannot ship blank media mail. A lot of people will do, and they get a lot of sales because, well, they're gaming the system, or they don't know. And so their shipping is cheaper, and a lot of people will go with that. But you cannot send those legally through media mail. How about Sudoku? This is not a high dollar version. I never really understand why some of them are worth a lot and some of them aren't. There are some Sudoku games that are worth a ton of money. This one is, you know, it's damaged here, but it's still sealed. And it's just not worth that much. $9.89 free shipping. Okay? This was part of a bulk buyout, and so that's why I listed it. If I was out at a garage sale or something and happened to scan the barcode on this, I wouldn't have picked it up. But when it's part of a bulk deal, you list it all. And so I did, and we'll see what I make at the end of the day. Not all that much. This only lasted a couple of days. Big screen Tetris. People like the games that have the big screens like that. Pretty clear. It's made by Radica. And this one, like I said, sold very quickly. $9.98 plus shipping. So I like picking up those games. This I picked up just this weekend. Already sold. PS4. Spider-Man Miles Morales. And Miles sold for $18.19 plus shipping. I probably paid $2 for it. This one is just disc only. And Final Fantasy Tactics. You know, this is for the PS1. It's just one of the bonus discs, and I didn't have anything else for it, but it still sold. $13.26 plus shipping. A couple movies. Happy Death Day, this part of that bulk buyout too, incidentally. And not super high dollar, but again, I list them all when I get them in bulk. $3.99 plus shipping. And then I've sold this one before. I like picking up the Escape Froms with Kurt Russell. They do pretty well. Not super high dollar or super quick movers, but they'll sell. $5.49 plus shipping for that. Here we got another viewer sale. So we had one more hat right here. We got the High-Vis Shooting Systems hat. Super cool flag on the back of the mesh. And that hat, along with, yes, a keychain duck. Remember, you got to get your ducks in a row to sell on eBay, especially in the fourth quarter. You can pick up ducks in our store. They're not all keychain ducks, but these keychains made by a viewer, super, super cool, and people are really liking those. So that one is also going out. And we've got one of our pens. I bought a pile of pens for, I think it was $5. And I really didn't know, but it was a quantity listing. So I thought, you know what? We're going to give it a shot. And all three of these going out to Ray. And Ray and his wife, resellers. And take a look at their store. Very cool stuff in the store. So, guys, I sure appreciate it. I'm going to get your extra shipping back to you. We'll put all of those together. We'll see how cheap we can get it out. And be sure to get you refunded for the difference. Here we got a musical mini. Look at that. Still got the tags on it. I think. There we go. Look at her go. She's a very energetic mouse. Stop her before she runs off the table. So I picked her up for a couple bucks at a garage sale here just this summer. And this is the time that stuff's going to start moving out, the Christmas stuff. $19.49 plus shipping. Right about the same as these. I pick these up when I can find them, and they're relatively clean. You just throw them in the washer, even if they're a little bit dirty. These things sell pretty consistently at least $20, these Crocs. And that's what we got for them. $19.49 plus shipping. Back, let's take this because it's going to fall over. It's in there crooked. I got to actually, it doesn't, it comes in the original box, but it doesn't sit tight in the original box. So I'm still going to have to add some packing materials in there before I put it in the mail. But the Audubon Society singing bird clocks. Watch out for these guys. Not all of them are fantastic. The larger one, the wood grain, they often are pretty good, though. There's a really good sell-through rate on a lot of these Audubon clocks. And this one I got at an estate sale for a couple dollars. And it sold for $38.99 plus shipping. Will you sit there? You'll sit there. Okay. And then we've got this guy. We'll just leave it there. But you can see the old... And I washed this, guys, but this wouldn't come out. I wasn't going to put any more work into it. Frankly, I think it looks a little bit cool when it's got that wear on there, when it's something that's vintage military history like this. It's a U.S. Army gas mask pouch or bag, whatever we want to call it. I didn't even list this thing correctly. I had a spelling error autocorrect in there. Put HAS instead of GAS, and I didn't even catch it. A lesson to check your listings. Probably why it took longer to sell. This has got a name on it, which in some ways people might think, oh, well, that's going to damage it because somebody wrote their name on it. Well, I think in a way it adds to it. I think it's really cool. So Corporal White is on there, and the gas mask or haz mask from World War II, $19.49 plus shipping. And then over here, it's got a hood on it back there, but that's the logo that you want to watch out for. I picked this up at a sale this summer, a couple of months ago. Just like Christmas jackets are going to start moving, I think. Northern states going to start getting cold. People are going to start wanting jackets. And that brand is Spyder, S-P-Y-D-E-R. Keep an eye out for that. This is a vintage jacket. I think I got this for $5 at a sale. It was a screaming deal. And it sold for $129.35. Love that. It's not going to break. I just put it in a box and it's out the door. Happy with what is going out. And like I said, I think we're starting to see some of that early fourth quarter action anyway. So love to hear how your sales are doing. If you're starting to see an uptick, If you're listing a lot, you got to be listing right now, because when that uptick happens, you got to be ready for it. So it's not going to sell if it's sitting in the death pile. So work on getting all that stuff. If you look at it and think, somebody might want that for Christmas, list it. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the time. Hit the thumb. That helps us out a ton as we work to grow. The channel is growing, and your support helps us do that. So do that. Hit the subscribe button. About half the people that watch the channel not subscribed. You're watching, you might as well be subscribed. And if you're watching or you're subscribed, hit the bell. That'll let you know when we put new stuff up. Guys, I got to go. We'll see you.